Welcome back to the Wisdom Hub. So, you're all in, right? You're picturing a future together, putting in the effort, even setting aside your own dreams, because their happiness matters so much to you. They tell you they love you, but somehow their actions don't match their words. They forget your conversations, overlook your plans, and still assure you they care. It feels like you're caught in a paradox, where they say one thing but act in ways that make you feel like an afterthought. Have you ever questioned if they truly love you, or if you're just convenient? Maybe they're not as invested as you are, or maybe they're holding on to something that's no longer there. And when it comes to trying to connect with someone new who isn't showing much interest, that sting can feel intense, especially when you're making a genuine effort. But here's the thing. Their distance often has nothing to do with your worth. Today, we're diving deep into these confusing dynamics to uncover what's really going on beneath the surface. So, hit that like button if you're ready to uncover the truth behind their mixed signals and gain the clarity you deserve. By the end of this video, you'll understand how to interpret their actions and what steps you need to take for yourself. Stick around. You don't want to miss this. Let's get real. If someone genuinely loves you, there could be reasons they're pulling back or ignoring you, and I'm about to share the top 3. But that's not all. We're also exploring the possibility that they're staying with you out of convenience or simply because you're kind to them. Think about it. What if one day they just decide to leave? This isn't easy to consider, but you have to be prepared. As our Stoic friend Seneca once said, luck is what happens when preparation meets opportunity. In relationships, just like in life, it's essential to be ready for both the highs and the lows. We'll cover everything, from why they might truly love you yet act distant, to the hard truth about whether they're only around out of comfort. But here's the most important thing. No matter where they stand, the one thing we can control is ourselves, not them. That's where Stoicism comes in to guide us. We'll break down every angle, and this lesson is something you don't want to miss. Stay tuned, because this insight might be the game changer that helps you reclaim your peace and power. Remember, no matter how tough things get, you have to stand strong. This isn't about hurting your feelings. It's about reminding you of your strength and resilience. So, say it with me. I stand strong. No matter what happens, you are grounded, unshakable, and committed to valuing yourself above all else. Let this be your reminder that you have the power to face anything that comes your way. So, why are they ignoring you if they truly love you? Let's dive into 3 possible reasons. Number 1, they show love in ways you might not expect. So the first reason they could be ignoring you, even if they care, is simple. They express love differently than you might expect. Love languages vary, and everyone has their own way of showing affection. Maybe you look for verbal affirmations, frequent check-ins, or time spent together, but they might express love in more subtle ways. For them, love may not mean constant communication, but rather being there when it counts most. Picture this. You send them a text, sharing something meaningful from your day, and hours pass with no reply. This silence might feel hurtful to you, but to them, it's just their normal way of being. They might prefer in-person quality time over texts, or find it challenging to express themselves through words. This kind of disconnect can create tension, leaving you to question if they really value you. This misunderstanding is common. For example, one woman on an online forum shared her frustration that her partner rarely texted back. She thought it was a sign of lost interest, only to discover he preferred in-person conversations. For him, talking face-to-face felt most genuine. They worked it out, and she learned that his love language was more about acts of service, like surprising her with coffee or fixing things around the house. Think of it as 2 people speaking different languages. Imagine you're speaking English and they're speaking French. They may show love by doing practical things, but if you're looking for sweet words, it can feel like they're emotionally distant. Bridging this gap starts by realizing people show affection in different ways. Here's a metaphor. Some people's love is like a plant that needs regular care, while others are more like a cactus, steady, needing less attention, yet deeply rooted. Just because they don't give constant attention doesn't mean they don't care. They simply express it differently. It's essential to give them time to show love in their own way. This doesn't always mean the relationship will work long-term. Studies show that when communication styles differ, misunderstandings can arise, and partners may drift apart if they can't meet halfway. But if you believe in the foundation of your connection, gently sharing your needs while letting them express themselves can be transformative. Patience and understanding are key, but they have limits. If you're often feeling unfulfilled, it may be time to reevaluate. Because let's face it, if someone truly loves you, they'll often go out of their way to make you feel valued. They'll pay attention to the little things, remember the details, and show up in ways that resonate with you. And if you're not feeling that, it could mean something else is going on. Let's move to the next reason. Number 2, they're afraid of losing their independence. Another reason they might be ignoring you, even if they care, is fear of losing their independence. For some, love brings vulnerability, and they worry that committing means losing parts of themselves. This fear can make them pull back, not because they don't care, but because they're afraid of losing their identity in the relationship. Imagine someone who values their freedom, who's spent years building a life they love. They're used to making their own choices, pursuing personal goals, and living on their terms. Entering a relationship with someone they care deeply about can feel like entering unknown territory. They might fear getting too close means letting go of their dreams or routines. One man in a relationship forum shared that he loved his partner, but often resisted her need for closeness. It wasn't about rejecting her, but about holding on to his identity. For him, his need for independence didn't mean he didn't love her. It just meant he wanted a balance. Think of independence as something precious to them. They're on the edge, wanting to be with you but afraid of diving in too deeply. It's like saying, "I want to be with you, but I don't want to lose myself." This fear is common, especially for those who've been single for a while or had past experiences where they felt controlled. However, if someone truly cares, they'll likely try to make space for you in their life. Genuine love finds a way to blend closeness and individuality. But remember, Stoicism reminds us to focus on what we can control. As Marcus Aurelius said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Realize this, and you'll find strength. Focus on your own self-worth. They need to face their own fears. Sometimes giving them space can allow them to work through it. If they're unwilling to open up at all, it's not about your worth, it's about their struggle. Let's move to the third reason why they might ignore you. Number 3, they're dealing with personal challenges. A third reason why they might be distant, even if they love you, is personal struggles that have nothing to do with you. Life can be overwhelming, and sometimes people's own battles or pressures make them withdraw, not because they want to push you away, but because they're struggling to keep up. When someone's facing a rough time, even the closest relationships might take a back seat. Imagine them in the middle of a storm, holding on as stress or self-doubt swirls around them. When in survival mode, love can feel like a weight rather than a comfort, regardless of how much they care. Instead of seeing their distance as a rejection, think of it as a reflection of what's happening inside them, a storm they must face alone. One woman shared on a forum how her partner withdrew after losing his job. He stopped calling as often, seemed distracted, and barely spoke. She worried he was losing interest, but when they finally talked, He confessed he'd been feeling ashamed and overwhelmed. His silence was about his own struggle, not a lack of love. In relationships, it's easy to take distance personally, but sometimes they're fighting their own battles. Think of their silence like a wave pulling back to return stronger. Sometimes they need to step away, gather strength, and find their footing before reconnecting. Of course, there's a balance here. Compassion and space are essential, but remember your worth. As Epictetus said, don't explain your philosophy, embody it. Focus on your own well-being. If they love you, they'll share what they're going through, even just a little. If they remain distant without explanation, it may mean they're not ready for a relationship. So, we've covered the top reasons they might ignore you. Now let's confront that lingering fear. What if they're no longer interested? Understanding this possibility can bring you clarity and strength. Stick with me as we explore the signs that might reveal the truth. Sign 1. Their consistent unavailability when you need them. All right, folks, let's dive into this first sign. They're never around when you need them. Picture this. You've had a rough day and could really use a kind word or even just a text to lift your spirits. But when you reach out, they're too busy or just don't respond at all. They might say they're tired or they'll get back to you later, but that later never comes. When someone genuinely cares, they make an effort, even in small ways, to be there for you. Consistent unavailability could mean they simply don't prioritize you the same way. Think about a common scenario. You're there for them in tough times, supporting them and checking in, but when the roles are reversed, they're nowhere to be found. This lack of balance can leave you feeling undervalued and questioning your place in their life. Being present isn't about 24/7 availability, but about showing up when it matters most. Take an example from a relationship forum. One woman shared how her partner seemed to only show up when he needed something. She'd been there for him in difficult moments, yet when she needed support, he was absent. In time, she realized his absence wasn't about being busy. It was a sign of a lack of genuine interest. This story reminds us that true commitment shows in actions, not just words. Here's where stoicism can provide strength. Instead of fixating on their absence, focus on what you control, your own resilience and sense of worth. Marcus Aurelius once said, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." Rather than letting their inconsistency shake your confidence, let it push you to build inner strength. If they aren't showing up, don't keep waiting. Redirect that energy toward yourself. So, if you're feeling undervalued, use this as a moment to focus on your well-being. Say it to yourself. Their unavailability does not define me. Write it. Say it out loud. And if you're with us, drop it in the comments as a reminder of your journey toward resilience. Remember, you deserve someone who shows up not just in easy times, but when it truly counts. Sign 2. Their actions don't match their words. Next up, and this one's a tough one, their actions don't align with their words. It's one of the clearest signs that something's amiss. And if you've experienced this, you know how draining it can be. They may say they care and that you're important, but their actions tell a different story. They promise to spend more time with you, to be there when needed, but they don't follow through. Imagine someone saying, "You mean the world to me," but then they're nowhere to be found when they promise to call or constantly cancel plans. This inconsistency can make you question yourself, leaving you standing on shaky ground. It's like building half a bridge. You're left stranded, and each broken promise weakens the foundation of trust. Consider a story shared on a forum about a long-distance relationship. The partner would often talk about a future together, making comforting promises, yet never acted on them. Eventually, he saw that her words were just a way to avoid the truth. There was no real commitment. Think of words and actions like roots and branches. Words reach out and give you shade, but without actions to root them, they won't stand strong. Here, stoic wisdom can guide you. Instead of clinging to words alone, face reality as it is. If actions are telling a different story, believe what you see. Marcus Aurelius once said, "If someone shows me I'm wrong, I'll gladly change." Focus on truth over illusion. Say to yourself, "Words don't define me." And if this resonates, drop it in the comments to let us know you're embracing truth over empty promises. Sign 3. They don't show interest in your life or goals. The third sign that can reveal someone's true intentions is a lack of interest in your life or goals. When someone genuinely cares, they'll want to understand what excites you and what you aim to achieve. They'll ask questions, celebrate your accomplishments, and encourage your dreams. But if they seem absorbed only in their world, rarely engaging with yours, it might indicate they're not as invested as they say. Picture this. You share something personal or exciting, like a promotion you're striving for, a passion project, or even a hobby you're exploring. Instead of sharing in your enthusiasm, they respond with silence, a dismissive comment, or quickly change the topic. This indifference over time can make you feel small, as if your aspirations don't matter. In a healthy relationship, both partners act as each other's biggest supporters. But if they're uninterested in what lights you up, it may suggest they're only there for superficial companionship. One story from a relationship forum illustrates this well. A man realized his partner never showed interest in his career goals. While he always supported her ambitions, she brushed off his as insignificant. Gradually, he saw that her lack of interest went beyond personality differences. It revealed a lack of depth in their connection. He ultimately decided to move on, recognizing that a fulfilling relationship needs mutual support and respect for each other's lives beyond the relationship. Think of interest and support as sunlight and water for a plant. Just as plants need both to thrive, relationships need shared encouragement and care to grow. When someone truly loves you, they delight in seeing you grow and evolve. They'll offer that sunlight by listening to your goals and provide the water by cheering you on or offering help. Without these, a relationship can feel stifling, leaving one person feeling emotionally unfulfilled. In moments like these, Stoicism provides a strong perspective. Instead of internalizing their lack of interest, focus on the passions that bring you fulfillment. As Epictetus said, "Know first who you are and then adorn yourself accordingly." Your ambitions and goals are part of your essence. Don't let anyone make you feel like they're not worth pursuing. This is your life and your path to explore, with or without their encouragement. If you feel overlooked or unsupported, remind yourself, "I don't need their approval." Say it, write it, or even drop it in the comments to commit to honoring your own goals. This affirmation isn't just for you, it's a declaration that your dreams are worthy of love, attention, and dedication. Stand firm, knowing you don't need someone else's validation to chase what brings you alive. And if you're with us on this journey, drop "I don't need their approval" in the comments, showing that you choose self-respect over indifference. Let's keep moving forward to uncover the next sign that might reveal even more about where you stand. Sign 4. They avoid future plans or commitments. The fourth sign that someone may not be fully committed to the relationship is if they avoid making future plans or commitments. When someone genuinely sees a future with you, they'll naturally include you in their plans, whether it's a weekend getaway, a family event, or long-term goals like moving in together. But if they hesitate or constantly dodge discussions about the future, it could signal they're unsure of their commitment or keeping options open. Imagine you're eagerly discussing a dream trip together or celebrating a major anniversary. Instead of joining in, they seem distant, dismissive, or make excuses to avoid the topic. Or they're fine with short-term plans, but grow uncomfortable at the mention of anything requiring commitment beyond a few weeks. Over time, this pattern can leave you feeling uncertain, questioning the relationship's direction. A story from a relationship forum captures this behavior. A woman noticed her partner was willing to go on last-minute outings, but never planned anything long-term. When she brought up meeting families or taking a longer trip together, he would deflect, saying it was too soon or he wasn't ready. Eventually, she realized his reluctance was a sign he wasn't truly invested in a future with her, and she decided to move on, valuing her clarity and peace of mind. Think of commitment as building a house together. When someone is truly invested, they'll help lay down bricks with you, working towards something solid and lasting. Avoiding future plans is like showing up empty-handed at the construction site, unwilling to build a foundation. This lack of commitment leaves you with an incomplete structure, an unstable relationship. In such moments, Stoicism can offer guidance. Rather than hoping they'll come around, focus on the reality before you. As Seneca once said, "It's the power of the mind to be unconquerable." If someone avoids commitment, take it as a cue to protect your time and energy for a relationship that offers the future you deserve. If you find yourself waiting for them to take the next step, remind yourself, "I rise above their drama." This affirmation isn't just a phrase, it's a reminder to take control of your happiness. Say it, write it, or drop it in the comments to show you're choosing self-worth over uncertainty. Stand firm in the belief that you deserve a partner who's excited to plan a future with you, not one who leaves you feeling like a temporary option. If you're with us on this journey, drop "I rise above their drama" in the comments to show that you're committed to your own value, ready to move forward, and strong enough to seek a partnership without doubt. Sign 5. They don't make an effort to resolve conflicts. The fifth sign that someone may not be fully invested in the relationship is if they avoid resolving conflicts. Disagreements are natural, and they're often chances for growth and understanding. When both partners are committed, they'll work through issues, communicate openly, and find common ground. But if they dismiss your feelings or refuse to compromise, it's a strong indicator they may not be as invested as they seem. Imagine bringing up a concern, like feeling neglected or having an issue that's been bothering you. Instead of listening, they brush it off, get defensive, or even turn the blame back on you. Over time, this can make you feel unheard and undervalued. In a healthy relationship, both partners should engage, apologize when necessary, and take steps to improve. When someone doesn't, they're prioritizing their comfort over the relationship's well-being. A story online illustrates this. A man described how his partner would shut down whenever he raised a problem. She'd refuse to talk, leave the room, or dismiss his concerns, making him feel isolated. He eventually realized her unwillingness to engage was causing him deep emotional distress. He understood that a one-sided effort couldn't build a fulfilling relationship and chose to prioritize his peace over staying with someone unwilling to address conflicts. Think of conflict resolution like tending a garden. Issues are like weeds that inevitably sprout. In a committed relationship, both partners work to remove those weeds together, helping the garden flourish. When one refuses, those weeds grow unchecked, overtaking the garden and stifling connection. Without shared effort to resolve conflicts, the relationship becomes a place of resentment rather than growth. Here, Stoicism offers a valuable perspective. Instead of pushing to resolve issues with someone unwilling to engage, take a step back to assess if the relationship is truly serving you. Epictetus said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." If they're unwilling to meet you halfway, let it be a sign of where to place your energy. If you often find yourself trying to solve conflicts alone, remind yourself, I deserve peace. This affirmation isn't just a phrase. It's a reminder that you deserve a partner who respects your voice and values the relationship enough to work through issues together. Say it, write it, or drop it in the comments as a commitment to honoring your peace and boundaries. If you're with us on this journey, drop I deserve peace in the comments to show that you're choosing self-respect over unresolved conflict, prioritizing peace, and embracing the strength to move forward without constant battles. Sign 6. They only reach out when it's convenient for them. The final sign that might reveal a lack of genuine commitment is this: they only reach out when it's convenient for them. If you find they pop into your life only when it suits their schedule, needs, or mood, it's a strong indication they may not be fully invested in a balanced, meaningful relationship. Real connection requires effort from both sides, not just when it's easy. Picture this: you've gone out of your way to make time for them, support them, and prioritize the relationship. But when you're the one in need, whether it's a rough day, needing advice, or just wanting to share a moment, they're suddenly too busy or unavailable. Then, just when you're getting used to their distance, they reappear as if nothing happened. This inconsistency can leave you feeling used, undervalued, and questioning if the relationship is truly mutual. An online story highlights how damaging this behavior can be. One person shared that their partner would disappear for days with no communication, only reaching out when they needed emotional support or a favor. At first, they made excuses, hoping it was temporary, but soon saw a pattern. Their partner's interest only reignited when they wanted something, not out of genuine care. Realizing this helped them see that a relationship should be about mutual care, not convenience. Think of connection as a two-way street. When someone truly cares, they'll travel that street to show support, interest, and care, no matter the timing or convenience. If someone only contacts you on their terms, it feels like you're just a rest stop on their journey, rather than a valued partner. Here, Stoicism offers a helpful perspective. Focus on what you can control: your response, your boundaries, and your self-worth. As Marcus Aurelius said, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Rather than waiting for their attention, prioritize your own well-being. If their actions don't align with your needs, it's a reminder to place your energy where it's truly valued. If you're feeling used or undervalued, let this affirmation be your guide. I am better independent. Say it, write it, and even drop it in the comments to declare that you value yourself too much to be treated as an option. This isn't just about them. It's about reinforcing your own standards. So if you're with us on this journey, drop I am better independent in the comments to let us know you're standing firm in your worth, prioritizing relationships where you're valued, and embracing the strength to thrive on your terms. Let this final sign be a reminder: you deserve respect, consistency, and genuine commitment. Remember, these signs aren't here to discourage you, but to help you see your relationships clearly and make choices that honor your worth. When someone truly values you, their actions will show it consistently. They'll be there in good times and hard times, make you feel seen, and work through challenges with you. If any of these signs resonate, let them be a cue to refocus on your own growth, goals, and peace of mind. You deserve someone who is genuinely present, not just when it's easy, but when it truly matters. If these insights resonated with you, let us know how helpful this video was by dropping a number from 1 to 10 in the comments. And don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe for more empowering content, and share this with someone who could use a reminder of their worth. Stay strong, stay independent, and always value yourself first. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.